Hello, how are you? This is your daily tarot card reading, and it's for end of the week, okay? So it's for like Thursday, Friday. Now, we did health, wealth, and abundance. That was the last reading, and you might not have watched that, but I think it's worth watching it if you've had relationship problems, because it really was about us connecting to self and our own sort of healing journey and how we can how we're doing that, really. And I mean, it was it was such a powerful reading. I absolutely loved that reading. It was amazing. So let's go into this energy now for the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, and then next week I'm going to change the rota. Oh, there is no rota. There is literally no rota with me whatsoever. Like, I'm a nightmare. I am a nightmare. That's probably why I haven't got 3,000 subscribers yet. But what can I say? Like, I'm working with a lot, right? I'm working with a lot, and I'm actually going to do a video in a minute explaining all the channel so that it's more cohesive and understanding for people when they first come to the channel. To know really what it's all about, because it's a little bit different from a lot of tarot channels. So anyway, let's go into this energy. We're going to do this as the twin flame. It's the twin flame reading. Okay, so let's see. Now, as I always say, it might not be your twin flame, and that's fine. If it's not, it may be another relationship that you're relating it to, and you're like, oh my god, Kerry is talking about a completely different person to my twin flame, but that's cool. And it could even be about you. You might think I'm talking about you, and that's fine as well. So just take whatever resonates, really. So I'm sending you lots of love and peace across Gaia wherever you are, and I do appreciate you subscribing. Okay, oh my god. You're not going to believe the first card that's come out. Two of Cups. Okay, there's something really healing here. Okay, there's something massively healing within the twin flame, within this person, whoever this is. They're going through a big awakening experience and a big healing experience. Now, there could be a reunion between you both on the cards here, because the Two of Cups can be about reunion as well. And I'll just hold the card up because it's just so beautiful and loving, and it really is like the twin flame experience, which is very intense. There's such an intensity with the twin flame, and there's just this, undeniable link, between the two of you. So that's the first card that's come out, and it came out very, very quickly. Now, I do describe the twin flame as an emotionally unavailable sort of person, or emotionally avoidant. They find the emotions difficult, Obviously, the twin flame dynamic, you're going to have one person that's more receptive to feelings and one person that's not so receptive. And it's obviously, if you're watching this, you're the person that's more receptive to feelings and, figuring things out. I'm not saying you're a master of your feelings by any means, because I'm not. But, it's like, those of us that are kind of on this channel, we're the more receptive, and your twin flame, your person that this reading's about, is the more avoidant. I think this person's taken these tentative steps to really want connection more, and I think they're willing to do what it takes to actually start healing themselves. It's really interesting. So basically, what we've got is, absolutely, this is what's happening. That they have been very disconnected from themselves, and they've actually been very emotionally unhappy. And I feel like that's been happening since you've not really been around, because what's happened is there's been this step back between the two of you, and you haven't really been spending as much time together. And what I want to say is this person's not been happy. They've been very upset, and I want to say they sort of have gone through this disconnection from themselves. It's like they lost themselves a little bit, and then deep down they're just not happy. They're just not feeling it, they're not feeling it at all. Now, they've got the Four of Cups, and it's like they're realising Spirit is trying to hand them something that's really, really good. And I think this is their healing journey. and it sits underneath this Two of Cups. You know, it's like something is waking up inside them, and they're realising, oh my God, you know, I can't keep these addictive patterns or these patterns of avoidance. I do want to know myself better, and I do want some kind of connection. So they're letting go of all the negativity, because they've had a lot of negativity and they weren't really listening to their spirit guides. And now they're working towards their own healing, which is very good. They want to put good effort into their healing journey. Now, you know, they're getting some really good cards here, which is really nice to see. The delays are over and they're moving forward. Okay, delays being over, moving forward. They're realising, I've got to live in the present moment. Because your twin flame finds it very difficult to live in the present moment. They've allowed the past to affect them too much, and they also get very anxious about the future. You know, and it's like that's why they shut down. But they're realising now they have to embrace new beginnings. And also, you know, this is, look, I mean, that is a new beginning, Page of Cups right there. You know, this is a new beginning of them self-discovery. You know, and actually trying to make it a more happy experience. I feel like this person's had depression. I feel like this person's had some bad experiences with relationships or connections. And they sort of just kind of like were shutting themselves down from things, probably shutting themselves down from you. But here it just looks like they're starting to embrace the present moment. They're starting to embrace what spirit wants to bring them. This person is definitely lining up to connect with themselves and to connect with spirit and finally understand what connection actually is. Okay, so it's amazing. It is a new beginning with the Empress card. This person's kind of embracing themselves more fully. They're also very excited, and they're also very focused on their healing, for their spiritual awakening and their emotional awakening. So they're becoming much more focused, because pages are very focused. They want a new beginning, and they want to grow. You know, this person wants to grow. The only thing is there's no guarantees whether they're really going to achieve it, you know. So that's the thing with that. But let's see what else we get here. Okay, so there are some challenges here. There are some challenges that they're going to go through, right? Now, part of the problem with this person is that they don't like being sort of... They don't really know how to be completely open emotionally. And they sort of shut down, you know, and it's like they shut their heart off. You know, I think as much as they want to move forwards, I don't know how ready they are for this new love. I don't think this person's really ready for a relationship yet, even though it's kind of what I think they're wanting to work towards. The thing is, there's a lot of purging that they've got to do. Now, you know, it's a hard thing, isn't it? But what we have to do is see it from the higher mind and actually learn to accept people the way they are, you know. And that's hard, isn't it? Because our ego has its own agenda. Our ego's got its own agenda of what it wants from people, and that's what everybody's like, because we've all got ego to a certain degree. And you know, our ego's always going to have certain demands on what it expects from people. And the thing is, it's learning to shut that off, really. Because it is just the ego mind. It's an entity that always wants more. And it's not who you really are. And actually, the more you come into your own connection with spirit, the more accepting you can be of where people are at. And be okay with it. And just be accepting that this person is just the way they are. You know, and also just be realistic as well about how much pain body this person's actually got. This person's got a hell of a lot of pain body, you know, and it's learning to accept that there's no malice in this. There's no malice in this person. You know, but you know, they can only function as to the level of consciousness they're at, and because this person's got a lot of pain body around emotional intimacy, yeah, you know, we have to accept that, you know, somebody with a lot of pain body is going to go through periodic purges. You know, they're going to periodically purge all of the time. And when they do purge, because there's such a high level of pain body in this person, right, they're not going to be able to emotionally connect, you see. They're going to shut down because it's going to feel very overwhelming when their pain body comes up. And they're going to go into an egoic identity as a way of coping, which means they'll probably act in unpredictable ways, unhelpful ways, you know, like getting too obsessed with work or obsessed with other things, or maybe even obsessed with other people, because they're going back into an egoic identity to cope in those moments where their emotions, their pain body becomes too much. Now, their pain body triggering might be nothing to do with you. You know, this person, it's just pain body. It doesn't matter what it's about. It's just, it's going to purge periodically, and that's what you're dealing with your twin flame. Somebody who's got a lot of pain body around emotional intimacy, and periodically they're going to purge, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with you. And quite frankly, like, the best thing you can do is just accept it and pull back when they're like this, because they're just gonna shut down and they're just going to be doing their own thing, basically. Then you can be at peace, you see. Then you can be at peace with it, because you understand what's going on, and you can just be really accepting of the way they are, you know. But the most important thing is you then carry on living your life. Now, they've got here the Ace of Swords in reversed. It's like they're learning to come into the present moment, but they're still quite, you know, they're still finding it quite hard. I think they're trying to surrender to the way they are, but they're not quite ready to really fully embrace the present moment. Now, they do want to give here with this card. They want more giving and receiving, and they've also got the Lovers card. So I think at the end of the day, they've still got this attraction towards you, and they do want more reciprocation. They're definitely having some kind of awakening experience. But what you're dealing with is somebody with pain body who's not in the past anymore. They've definitely moved forward, but they're not quite where they want to be either. You know, they're not at A, they're not at B, they're kind of in the middle. And so just don't take it personally with this person when they're, you know, the signs when this person's pain body is coming up. So when it comes up, just pull back and do your thing. You know, keep living your life, and make sure you keep staying in the present moment, because if you're waiting around for somebody, you ain't in the present moment, and then you're not connecting with spirit. End of. Do you see what I mean? And if you're not connecting with spirit, you don't feel mentally well, you don't feel emotionally well. Yeah, it can even affect your physical health. So you've got to live in the present moment and just be at peace, and let this person, when they're purging, let them purge, because they're going through a healing journey. Let's have a look at the last rung of cards. Yeah, I mean, they're very mixed up still, this person, but they're definitely focusing on this healing. They're definitely focusing on this forward movement, because again, Page is a very focused energy, and this person's wanting to move forward. So it's like, you know, they may have a message for you, they may communicate, but it may not be exactly what you'd want to hear, you know. But they have got here the Knight of Cups. They definitely still think about you, they definitely still attracted to you. They've been concentrating on their own journey, they are having awakenings, and they have been finding things really, really hard. You know, what they need to do is kind of put down all the baggage and they need to sort of sort through things and figure out what they should continue with and what they shouldn't continue with. And that's what the tarot is saying would be the best thing for this person to do. The best thing for your twin flame to do at the moment is not really take action, but to actually really look at their life, really look at the baggage, really look at the pain body, look at all the things they've, you know, where they've been scattering their energy, and kind of have a really serious think about what is helping me and what is not helping me. You know, what do I resonate with, what do I not resonate with, to make their load a lot lighter, and to make themselves feel better, you know. So they need to kind of do some work here, and I think they just keep getting conflicted and confused by different people in their life. So I know this sounds weird and it's probably not what you want to hear, but I think they might get distracted by other people that they're attracted to, you know. And because this is the trouble, this person works on a sexual level, or a level of, if it's not sexual, it's more dominance, you know. And because they work on that level, they forget about their sensitive nature, because that's what happens with somebody that's emotionally avoidant. They've locked their sensitive nature in a little box as a child, you know, and they've hidden it away to cope with life. And so because they've hidden that little sensitive part of themselves away, you know, they forget all the time, and that's why they fall back into bad habits, addictive patterns, avoidance patterns, and they can slip into sort of sexual behaviour or domineering behaviour. So that they get conflicted and confused, and they get distracted by other people that maybe they're attracted to, or perhaps they get distracted by other things going on in their life, you know, like, I don't know, if they've got a hobby or an interest or work, they might get very distracted by that. And you know, the tarot is just showing how mixed up they are, really. And if you feel mixed up by this person, it's because they are mixed up, you see, because everything's a mental projection. You know, Ramana Maharishi taught that the whole world is your own mental projection. So it's like you're sort of feeding off their energy, and you're feeling that, and then they're mentally projecting, you're mentally projecting, and it's very confusing, because they've got a very confused energy, because there's a lot of pain body. So you're always going to get this with somebody who's got a lot of pain body, and they're only just starting, I feel, to really seriously look at it, and they're still quite tempted at times to fall back into old patterns. They're not as stable as you think. You know, I think a big attraction for you with this person, maybe not now, but previously, was that you always saw them as a very solid, strong person, but they're not. And I think you know that now. And I think that makes probably them less attractive, really. But just try to go deeper and just see the beingness in them, the consciousness in them, you know, because the consciousness in you is the same consciousness as it is in me, you know, as it is in them. And then you can sort of have, you know, a distant compassion for this person. Let's have a look at the Lover's Oracle. It's an interesting reading. It's a mixed up energy, and I do feel this person would make you feel very mixed up. You know, and that's why it's much wiser to pull back a little bit. You don't have to tell them you don't want them in your life. You know, I always say that because that's just completely unconscious to say that to people. But okay, well, the first one, let's go in the order that they came out. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. You know, and it's easy to feel resentful of this person, okay, because they're so inconsistent and they don't connect emotionally, and yet, you know, they show such good signs of progress, and, you know, they're very attractive, and they're very, you know, they can be very lovable when they want to be. But, you know, all the emotions that stir up inside you is really your pain body, and it just, you might end up not seeing clearly when it comes to this person. You know, this person's got ego just like us. You know, they're no better than us, and they don't need to be put on a pedestal. You know, freedom, there's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. You know, let this person get on with what they need to get on with, and you get on with what you need to get on with. You stay in the present moment and look at your day and think, right, what am I doing today? Who am I connecting with today? Who's in my present moment? Who's in my reality, and who's not in my reality? You know, and that's where you need to be. Don't stay stuck in the past, holding on to a connection with somebody that, yes, it's a nice connection, but it's very inconsistent because they've got a lot of pain body. So they can't consistently connect with you. They can't consistently connect with themselves. They're not being cruel, but they're all over the place, and they've been distracted by different people in their life, attraction, you know, all different things. But they are definitely starting to go on a healing journey, which is very good, and it's nice to see, and I am very pleased for this person that they're doing that. Now you have got here the sexual union card. It's probably not the best one to have, is it? It's a bit encouraging. Honour the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, there you will find true bliss. Well, that's right, they are the consciousness within you, that is the consciousness within them, within me, within us all, which is what I said earlier, you know. They're just not as stable. What you've got to realise is this person is not stable. They may appear to be very confident, bubbly, I don't know, attractive, whatever, but they are not stable. So, you know, their energy is very confusing and it's very fluctuating. And that's fine, because we're all like that. Let's face it, we're all on this journey of awakening. But you can't pin hopes. Your ego wants you to pin hopes on somebody that isn't physically able to do that at this point in time. You know, and that's the accepting part. That's the part of, you know, acceptance and surrender, and you just honouring living in the present moment. Survival. Your spirit guides are trying to help you with survival. Okay, so surviving this, really. Surviving the triggers from this person, and letting them have their journey as it's going, you know. Intimacy. You know, your spirit guides are supporting you with intimacy, self-intimacy, getting to know yourself. And you can only get to know yourself in the present moment. You're not going to get to know yourself in the past by analysing this connection. You know? So your spirit guides are trying to help you to live in the present moment and to connect with yourself, connect with spirit, and connect in the present moment and start really living life, you know? This person still likes you. They still care about you. They still think about you. They may occasionally send you a message here, but it probably won't be what you really want to hear completely. But they've got a lot they're contending with. This person's got a lot they're contending with, you know, and they're just not as stable. I think we tend to put the twin flame on a pedestal that we don't need to put them on. You know, that's the basic thing. So, you know, that's the message, really. You know, it might not be what you wanted to hear, but there we go. I mean, we have had some good progress from the twin flame lately in the readings. You know, but it's always going to fluctuate as well, isn't it? So, anyway, sending you lots of love and sending you lots of peace. I don't think you need to communicate with this person. I don't think you should reach out. Give them space. That apparently, all the gurus say, giving space is actually the most loving thing you can do for anybody. Space and silence actually communicates consciousness and love more than anything else. So that's what the message is, really. If you do want to book in for a reading, if you're finding your twin flame thing hard, or you just want information on it, you know, in terms of like what's going on with your twin flame connection, you know, we can look at cards, we can have a look deeper into it. Just contact me, and I'm sending you lots of love, lots of peace for your end of the week.